Hey everyone, Deutsche Videos here, doing another one of my travel vlogs. I recently, and by that I mean post-pandemic, recently took my family on a trip through the Spessart in south central Germany, northern part of Bavaria, northwestern part of Bavaria. We stopped to have a look at a palace sitting in a pond, Wasserschloss, in a town called Mespelbrunn. Palace had the same name. We paid a small fee and took a guided tour. This was the residence of the von Ingelheim family. Here's a portrait that I found of some family members from 200 years ago. Standard Freemason hand signing with the hidden hand plus pointing down to earth, left hand path. I imagine this palace functioned more like a hunting lodge for the well-to-doers. Unfortunately, we were not allowed to wander. We had to do a tour in a small group with a tour guide, and she was strict. They did not allow any photography, so the images you see here are ones I pulled from the net. One thing that really stood out to myself that was hanging above the door frame in the tower, last room on the tour, was a large portrait of the family and their children. The tour guide said, "Oh, by the way, those girls that you see in the portrait, those aren't actually girls, those are boys." Yes, this was something people used to do 100 or more years ago. They would dress their children in dresses until the age of 7, period, end quote. That was the last thing mentioned on the tour by the tour guide, and they didn't go into any details after that. Naturally, after the trip, I had to look this up, and this is actually a thing called breeching. From the mid-16th century until early 20th century, children, regardless of sex, supposedly wore dresses until the boys were breeched. What all the articles I found about this phenomenon, what they do not mention is that there is no reason to put boys or supposed boys in what any man, woman, or child of any era would consider feminine clothing. There are masculine things that are similar to dresses, like a tunic or a robe, something that would cut the fabric and be worn in a way to distinguish between the sexes. This suddenly stopped being convenient or fashionable for little boys to wear. Nice hand sign. Then in this photo there is nothing here that presents male or boy. Not even the strange bowl cut with the long hair in the back. I'd classify that as an androgynous mullet. This is actually USA's 32nd president, starting in 1933, FDR. "Give me the girl before she is 7, and I will show you the man." Early childhood experiences shape who we are, who we become. If your early childhood experiences wearing a dress and then putting on pants, then you just spent your childhood dressing drag, and now you are dressing drag. It's all very confusing with their gender flipping. Most of you know my channel and where I'm going with this. My hypothesis here is that the girls became boys and the boys stayed presenting as girls. In the artwork, they claim the ones with jewelry, and this one here, pearls, those are the females. Pearls symbolize a trans woman. It took that abrasiveness, its masculinity, and created or transformed that into a fine gemstone. And that's it for this part one.